Good night, Vienna. It is time, folks. Our final mock draft here on Seahawks Today. Tyler Jones, your fearless leader, here with you. Thanks for joining us. It has been a hell of a ride this draft season. And on Thursday night, we will hear the names called for the very first time as we begin the 2025 NFL Draft. And on today's show, we will go over my final mock draft projections for the Seattle Seahawks. All 7 rounds. I'll give you my picks. We'll give you our analysis and more coming up in just a matter of moments. Before we do, we need all the good vibes our direction, my friends. We need to send all the good voodoo to John Schneider. If you want the Seahawks to have a great draft, like the video. Don't jinx it. If we get 500 likes on today's video, I promise you the Seahawks will have a great draft. So do your part. Don't even chance it. All right? Even if you don't believe in luck, just believe me on this one. Hit the like button. We'll get started on today's show. So let's set the scene for you here, how this all works. So I went into Pro Football Network's simulator, and I acted as GM for the Seahawks and made every pick for Seattle for all 7 rounds. And Pro Football Network made the picks for every other team in this mock draft. And here is what things look like for Seattle heading into the draft. It is Mike Macdonald's second season as the Seahawks head coach, coming off a 10-win campaign where the Seahawks were just short of making the postseason. They have plenty of cap space, but they have a lot of needs to address in this draft, from the interior of the offensive line to the offensive tackle position, edge, wide receiver, defensive line, corner, safety, linebacker, tight end, with 10 total picks. We will do what we can to address as many of those needs without reaching as much as possible here in just a moment. The Seahawks draft picks goes as follows. They have a first-round pick at 18, a second-round pick at 50, followed by another second-round pick at 52, a third-round pick at 82, followed by another third-round pick at 92, and then they have a fourth-round pick at 137, a fifth-round pick at 172, another fifth-round pick at 175, followed by a sixth-round pick at 185, and then they wrap up the draft in the 7th round at 234. So let's go ahead and jump right to it. The last 5 picks leading into Seattle's selection at 18. Pro Football Network chose the following players to their respective teams. Malachi Starks, the safety from Georgia, to the Dolphins. Tight end Tyler Warren from Penn State to the Colts. Nick Emanwari, the safety from South Carolina, to Atlanta. Matthew Golden, wide receiver from Texas, to Arizona. And Tyler Booker, offensive guard, Alabama, to the Cincinnati Bengals. So who is on the board for Seattle? The best available at 18. We could go with Tetairoa McMillan, wide receiver from Arizona. We could go Jalen Walker, linebacker from Georgia. Mike Green, edge rusher from Marshall. Derek Harmon, defensive tackle from Oregon. Or Mikael Williams, edge rusher from Georgia. So who will the pick be? Dun, 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 dun. With the 18th overall pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Seattle Seahawks select Arizona wide receiver Tetairoa McMillan. I think this guy is number 1 on John Schneider's draft board, based on every indication that we've been given. I know that Seattle has a need on the offensive line, but with these mock drafts, we're telling you what we think is going to happen. And I think that if McMillan is there, it's going to be hard for John Schneider to say no and pass up on Tetairoa McMillan. He was fantastic with the Arizona Wildcats, a consensus All-American, a first-team All-Big 12 selection in 2024, the Polynesian College Football Player of the Year. And the thing that I keep going back to when it comes to McMillan, him and Tyler Warren, if I had to put all my chips on the table of who is going to be a success in this league, it would be those 2 individuals. At the very least with McMillan, I think you're getting a very good receiver. At his very best, I think he can be one of the top receivers in all of the National Football League. And although that you've brought in Cooper Kupp, you've brought in MVS and some of these other individuals, You do not have a real replacement for DK Metcalf at this point in time for what he brings to the table. Tetairoa McMillan could step in and be that skill set replacement you're looking for DK Metcalf, coming off back-to-back seasons with over 1,300 yards, 8 touchdowns in each season, over 15 yards of reception, terrific speed, good hands. He can stretch the field. I think McMillan would be a great fit for Seattle. His scouting report, he's a big frame pass catcher. He's smooth and fluid. He's got great run-after-catch ability. He's got an outstanding catch radius. He catches everything that comes his way. He does need to be a bit more urgent when it comes to the line of scrimmage at the snap. So, what do you think? You're on the clock. Our pinned comment today showed the Seahawks draft Tetairoa McMillan at 18 overall. Type S for select, P for pass. Chime in. Let us know in the comments section. Today's show is sponsored by Game Time. Game Time is the place to go for the best seats, the lowest prices guaranteed. Recently, I got the chance to go to an NBA game, and I saved big money on Game Time. Get to take the whole family. And whether you're going to an NBA playoff game or maybe you're going to an event in Seattle like you want to see the Mariners or whatever it may be, you choose the event you want to go to. They got the prices listed. Choose your seat, see if you like that seat or not. And then you're checking out on Game Time on Apple Pay, Google Pay, Venmo. Game Time is great for getting tickets on short notice. And if you have their low prices enabled, then you can invest more into buying food, drinks, merchandise, and more. And you can get a larger group to come with you to said event much easier on Game Time. Game Time is the official ticketing partner of Seattle Seahawks Today. Their last-minute deals allow you the opportunity to save up to 60% off buying last minute for sports, concerts, comedy shows, theater productions, and more. Game Time Picks makes last-minute ticket buying easier than ever by quickly highlighting the best deals in the stadium. They have their zone deals, where you can save even more when you choose a section. Let Game Time choose the deals. They have their all-in pricing. Toggling this feature shows the total up front with no surprise fees at checkout. They have their seat views, where you can get a panoramic view from your seat in the app before you buy. The lowest price is guaranteed, or Game Time will credit you 110% of the difference. Your purchase is covered with the most flexible customer service policy in the ticketing industry. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use code ChatSports, $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account, redeem code CHATSPRTS for $20 off. Download the Game Time app today. Last minute tickets, lowest prices guaranteed. The link is in the comments and the description of today's video. We move ahead to round number 2, and we are staying in Tucson with the Wildcats, as much of you are going to be happy after passing on an offensive lineman at 18. We are going very offensive line heavy in round 2. At 50th overall, the Seattle Seahawks select Arizona offensive guard Jonah Savaiinaea is the selection. Let's tell you more about Savaiinaea. Played for Arizona from 2022 to 2024. He was an all Big 12 honorable mention this past season, an all Pac-12 honorable mention in 2023. And if we take a look at his grades, he had a solid overall grade of a 75.9. Pass block grade was really good at 82.7. Run block grade could use some work, 64.2. Allowed 4 sacks, got called for 1 penalty. Only gave up 2 hits and 9 hurries on the quarterback a season ago. And what position is he? Tackle or guard? I think more so a guard, but I think he's somebody that will likely start for you right away for a Seahawks team that needs all the help they can get, especially in the interior of the offensive line. His scouting report, a wide-bodied frame. He's got a solid initial burst, steal leverage, good spatial awareness. He does have below-average recovery skills, so that'll be something he needs to work on. But overall, he's a pretty good prospect. So what do you think about Big Jonah? Should the Seahawks draft him at 50th overall? You got 2 options here. Type Y for yes, in for no. Chime in the comments section. Tell us what you think. Today's show, we want to remind you, folks, that we are here every day on Seahawks Today, including the 2025 NFL Draft. We will be live on the channel Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, reacting to every pick in real time. Do not miss out on Seahawks Today's live coverage of the 2025 NFL Draft right here on the channel. Make sure to tell all your friends and have them subscribe and join us for our live coverage beginning Thursday night right here on Seahawks Today. Subscribe now for free. Turn on notifications. That way you're the first to know when we go live. YouTube.com/Seahawks TV to subscribe now. We will see you then. We go to our second round pick, and we're going with another offensive lineman. This time it is Minnesota offensive tackle Ariante Ersery. Let's tell you more about Ersery. Played for Minnesota from 2020 to 2024. He was named the Big Ten's Offensive Lineman of the Year for 2024, where he was a first-team All-Big Ten selection. And I got to tell you, I don't really understand why Ersery's stock has not been higher than what it is. There was talk about a month ago about him potentially being a late first-round pick, but now the consensus is that he'll be a second-round pick. But everything he did in college adds up to what you're looking for. Overall grade, really good, 77.5. Pass block grade, 77.3. That's solid. Run block grade, he held his own there with a 73.6. Only allowed 1 sack and 3 penalties last year. Only gave up 1 hit along with 10 hurries as well with the 3 penalties. I thought he did a very good job, and I would be very pleased if Seattle could pick him there in the second round. His scouting report, he's got a powerful punch. Good arm length to go along with it as well. Clear eyes and awareness. Clear eyes, full hearts, can't lose, baby. Solid athletic ability. He is a bit tardy when it comes to his striking time, so he's got to be a little quicker on that front. But overall, I think he's a very good prospect, and I would be pleased to get him in the second round. If you had to pick one to draft between these two offensive linemen, would you go with Jonah or Ariante? Type JS for Jonah. Type AE for Ariante. Way in the comments section. Let us know which one you'd rather choose. Let's move ahead to the third round now, and we're going to get Texas A&M defensive tackle Shamar Turner with the 82nd overall pick. And Turner's a heck of an athlete. I would have liked to seen more production, but to be fair, he was taking on a lot of double teams there at Texas A&M. He had 8 total sacks the last 2 seasons. His 2023 campaign was stronger than his 2024 campaign, as he had 36 total pressures and 2 forced fumbles. But last year wasn't bad either. 36 tackles, 6 TFLs, 2 sacks, 21 pressures, and 1 forced fumble. You get him in that rotation behind Byron Murphy, Leonard Williams, Jaron Reed, and all of a sudden you have some depth. And what was a weakness for this Seahawks team for such a long time in that defensive line, all of a sudden, in a short amount of time, becomes an area of strength. At 92, we're going tight end here. And we're helping our receiving core and our offensive line at the same time. A guy that I have liked in this draft process that I think people are sleeping on. In the year of the tight end with Tyler Warren and Colston Loveland, this guy's been kind of forgotten about. I think on any other year, his stock would have been much higher, but with how good the other tight ends are, he's been kind of slept on. We're going with Elijah Arroyo from Miami with that 92nd overall pick. Had a very good campaign in 2024, a breakout season for him with 7 total touchdowns. He was a really good red zone target for Cam Ward. We've seen Seattle kind of struggle when it comes to finding the red zone with their tight ends. Noah Fant obviously has had his struggles with that, but still accounted for 35 receptions, 590 yards, and Clint Kubiak wanting to use the tight end position more. I think Arroyo could help your cause on that front. We move ahead to 131, and we're getting help at the linebacker position with a guy I've watched nearly every game of his at Oklahoma, Danny Stuntsman, one of the best linebackers in all of college football, and was so productive the last 3 seasons, 3 straight years with over 100 tackles, 8 TFLs, 1 sack last season. The year prior to that, 3 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, an interception. You're not going to hear a negative thing about Danny Stutzman. He's a terrific leader, a great teammate, a tackling machine, just flies all over the football field. I think he is going to have a long career in this league. Seattle, they get their quarterback. I think this is the year that the Hawks finally draft a QB and they do so at 172, getting Syracuse quarterback Kyle McCord. Kyle McCord was at Ohio State, and he was kind of the fall guy for Ohio State, losing to Michigan, not getting to the Big Ten championship game, missing out on the college football playoff, even though he had 24 touchdowns and a completion percentage of close to 66% and over 3,100 yards. He transfers to Syracuse with an opportunity to prove himself, and he held his own. Did a really good job at Syracuse this past season. Completion percentage went up. Yardage went way up from 3,170 to 4,779. His touchdowns went way up, 37 touchdowns. His interceptions did go up a bit. But Kyle McCord, playing with a chip on his shoulder, something to prove. He showed up and showed out there at Syracuse. He's got a big arm. Kyle McCord, he's not ready to be a day one starter, I don't think, but at the very least could have a nice career as a backup in this league. I would have no problems with taking Kyle McCord that late if he's still around. Who's a player these Seahawks should draft? We've already got over several names. We got more to get to here in just a moment, but we want to hear from you guys. Who's a player that you want to see end up in Seattle in this draft? Weigh in and let us know. We go to 175 now. This is where we find UTSA corner Za Frazier with the selection. And a lot of people were connecting him with Riq Woolen. So it's only fitting that we make him a teammate of Riq Woolen. Late round guy, corner, came from the same school as Riq Woolen. And one thing about Riq, too, he is a turnover machine. 6 interceptions in 2024. I know he played in Conference USA, but I don't care if you're playing in the SEC, Conference USA, the Missouri Valley Football Conference in the FCS. I mean, that's impressive wherever you play at. And the Seahawks defense, I think, could use him, and I think he's got a sneaky outside chance to potentially compete for a starting spot as a late-round guy to watch. Za Frazier, I think, would be very good for this Seattle team. I know we're waiting on the corner position, probably later than what some people would like, but if Frazier's on the board, I don't think you're going to be disappointed with that pick there. Then we move ahead to 223. This is where we go with Elijah Williams with this selection at the edge rusher spot. I know we're waiting a bit on the edge rusher position, but I'll take a flyer on him. I think that he's a good athlete. He was productive. Could be a transition of sorts, but I think he's got a chance to make some noise. And then my final pick, I'm going with best available at this point, and I'm going with a guy that I saw a lot of at Texas Tech that impressed me, Taj Brooks at 234. Taj Brooks, extremely productive. He's got good speed, got good hands. I like Taj Brooks a lot. And I think that if you're looking at this running back room, we don't know what the long-term future holds for K9 or Zach Charbonnet just yet. Same could probably be said for Kenny McIntosh, too. We just don't know if those guys are going to be here. Taj Brooks, I think, could easily be an asset to this rotation and fit the scheme there for Clint Kubiak as well. So there you have it. That is my mock draft. How did I do? Here's your chance to grade my final mock draft. A, B, C, D, or F. What do you think? Anything less than an A, you're a hater. I thought I did a pretty bang-up job for my final mock draft. What do you guys think? How did I do? Grade it in the comments section below. So let's recap our mock draft results. We went receiver with Tetairoa McMillan at 18. At 50, we went with his teammate, Big Jonah. And then we got another offensive lineman at 52 with Ariante Ersery from Minnesota. 82, we went defensive tackle with Shamar Turner. Then at 92, we went Elijah Arroyo, the tight end from Miami. At 131, went Danny Stutzman, one of the best linebackers in all of college football the last few years. 172, we did get our quarterback. We go with Kyle McCord from Syracuse. 175, I think we found a good sleeper in Za Frazier, corner from UTSA. 223, we picked up an edge rusher in Elijah Williams. And then we rounded out the draft with Taj Brooks, the running back from Texas Tech. So with that said, I think we got it all here, folks. We took care of needs. We got some flash. As they would say, have your cake and eat it too. We did that here. Job well done. And I can't imagine any complaints about this mock draft, in all honesty. I mean, what's a mock draft's purpose? It's to predict what you think a team is going to do. And based on who was on the board and the intel that we've received, I think all of this adds up pretty well. And this would be a mock draft, if that's the end result, that we'd be feeling, all right, let's go to work. This would be good for us. If you enjoyed today's show, you already know what to do. Hit that like button. We certainly would appreciate it. I'm Tyler Jones. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.